Good day and welcome to Model Railroad Academy. I'm Ron Marsh, your host for today, and today we are going to be talking about a variety of types and skill levels of structure kits. And one of the things that we talk about all the time when it comes to model railroading and building model railroad layouts is creating a sense of realism, making our trains and our scenery, our layouts look realistic, like a miniature version of the real world. We also are always trying to create some sort of a sense of time and place, like our trains are running through a specific point and place in time and space. And as we build our layouts, as we build our scenery, that's what we're trying to create, is that sense of time and place. And we do that with the backdrop. We do that with the different scenic elements that we use, everything from grass to trees to rocks to hills to highways and roads, and especially with structures. One of the things that really helps to set the stage for our trains and our layouts and helps to create that sense of time and place are the structures that we use. And of course, using structures that are appropriate for the location, the part of the world that we're modeling, the era that we're modeling is really, really important. But it's also important that we just be able to get a hold of the structures that we need to build them to populate our layouts with. Now, there are a number of ways that we can acquire or build structures for our layouts. Those of us who are pretty advanced in the hobby, you may scratch build a lot of what you build for your layout so that you can have just exactly that particular prototype structure that you need to reproduce a real structure from the real world or a close facsimile of that. You may do a lot of kit bashing where you use some kits and add parts from different kits together, combine some raw materials for using some of those scratch building techniques to be able to make a kit or a few kits or parts from them into the structure that you want. But honestly, most of us begin with building kits as far as structures are concerned. And as we build those kits, many of us will continue to use some of those kits for the entire life of our layout. While they may not perfectly match a prototype structure that we would hope to have in a particular area, we find that over time we just can't scratch build everything. So a kit structure that is close enough will remain close enough for that particular area. So I say all that to say, today I want to talk to you a little bit about structure kits, and I'm going to introduce you to a variety of types of kits, a variety of materials, and a variety of different skill levels that they take that you might use, whether you're a beginning modeler, whether you're intermediate, you've been in the hobby for a while, but are still looking at some various kits, or maybe you are an advanced modeler and thinking about building some more advanced types of kits. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. So I'm going to turn the camera down to our workbench now and get started looking at some different types of kits that we can use. And the first type of kit that I want to show you is this kit from Design Preservation Models, or commonly referred to as DPM. These kits are produced today by Woodland Scenics. They were originally another company acquired many years ago by Woodland Scenics, but they've continued to make some fantastic kits under the Design Preservation Models, or DPM, name. This model is one of the larger models that they make by DPM for N-scale. They are maybe most commonly known for their kind of small town, downtown types of structures that we see in hobby magazines. We see them on layouts everywhere because they are so popular and because they fit into so many places across the U.S. Small towns everywhere have structures like these made by DPM. These are great kits that many people would find are some of the very first structure kits that they build. They're plastic kits, and we'll just pull a piece out here. This is some of the wall sections that you can see here, and you can see they're in injection molded plastic. And exactly what type of plastic they are, I'm not sure if they're styrene or another type of plastic. But what I do know is that the plastic cement that we use on a variety of kits, especially polystyrene kits, works very well on these structures. So they're pretty easy to build. These structures are fairly hefty. You can see these walls are pretty thick. So they make really good looking and very sturdy structures, and the heftiness of the walls makes them fairly easy to build. It takes away from a little bit of the realism, as you know, the windows sometimes look a little bit thick and they look a little bit chunky. But when we're populating like a downtown area or an industrial area with lots of structures where people aren't going to notice every detail of every structure, these are great to use. These are really easy to put together. The instructions and the make of these is pretty simple. Most of them are just a box or a combination of boxes, and they sand and glue together very, very easily. Now, I've got this very kit, as a matter of fact, which is the trackside transfer. I built one of these years ago, and then later I came back and cut it up, and that's one of the things I want to talk about. This is a great kit to start with if you're building kits, structure kits for the first time, but these are also great because they're easy to modify. Here, for example, this is part of this trackside transfer structure, just like the one I just showed you. And in this particular one, I built this model originally exactly as they showed in the instructions. But later, when I tore that layout down and moved and built another layout, I needed the structure to work differently. So I actually just cut it in two and turned it into two different kind of low relief background types of structures. But you can see, again, I custom painted this, painted the doors green, painted the brick the color that I wanted, the dock a nice concrete color, added a couple of figures, and it makes a really nice looking structure. So these DPM kits are a great place to start. Oh, also I want to show you one more. We talked about the downtown structures. Here's one of those downtown building main street kind of structures that DPM makes. They make many of these, and I've got several on my layout in various places. And again, when we need that kind of downtown area, these look great. If we want something that looks a little different than what everybody else has, we can modify these and make them look really good as well. So DPM, Design Preservation Model, is a great place to start. Let's look at some other plastic kits as well. Another good maker of plastic kits that are easy to construct is Walthers. Walthers, of course, is a well-known hobby retailer. But they make their own line of many structure kits in a variety of scales, HO scale, and they can range in difficulty. Some of them are a little more complex than others. This is a Dairy Queen structure that is a nice kit. And pretty easy to put together. I'm going to show you. You see, you got a big box here. Not lots and lots of parts in this particular one, so it's fairly easy to put together. The instructions are very clear on these, and it's got these nice pieces here. I think you can see through the plastic bag where I've got the Dairy Queen sign with the decals already on, the front brick facade with the decals on. But you can also modify this by adding, color and grout to that brick facade as well. Lots of things that you can do to kind of modify these and make them your own. But these are great kits as well. The thing I like about Walthers kits is that they come with such interesting shapes and parts. Here, for example, in this just simple structure kit, you see the varieties of windows and doors and trim pieces. Some of the industrial structures come with a great variety of parts that are fantastic for those kits. But the beauty of them is sometimes you may want to get a kit like this just to have around to use the parts from. I've got a couple of these kits. Medusa Cement is one of them, and their small grain elevator is another one, where I've got a couple of those kits on hand that I use for nothing but just taking parts from to help me as I kit bash or scratch build other structures that I need those detail parts for. So Walthers kits, another great line of plastic kits, fairly easy to build, really easy to work with. Oh, here, I'm going to show you, here is a a good example of a Walthers kit that I built. This is a low relief structure. It came that way. This is the Parkview Terrace, I believe it's called, apartments. And I have a couple of these that make an apartment complex on my layout. And again, you can see I painted the brick to make it my own. I painted all of the trim green and actually weathered it a little bit to make it look like a little bit of an old and rundown kind of an apartment. Added a couple of detail parts like the air conditioner on the roof. But a great looking kit and a great way to be able to make something that looks unique for your layout and help to populate the structures for there. If you're really interested in kit bashing, you want to be able to get some kits or some kit parts, but you need to be able to make some structures that you need to be a certain size, a certain shape, a certain configuration. These Rix products, Pike Stuff is often the name that's used on the structure kits. And these are great little modern industrial structures. Most of them are modeled like this with the blue metal simulated siding and the white roof, but you can paint them any color that you want. And they make a wide variety of these structures, some of them simple and small like this one, some of them very big and complex. But you can mix and match these because the parts are made to be able to fit together with one another from a variety of kits, and you can make these however you want. I've got this particular structure right here that I have built, and again, I just built this basically according to the kit design. I haven't finished it. You see, I don't have the roof vents on the top. I intentionally have left one door open there, but this is going to be an old engine house that I'm going to really weather for an old yard that is now a transfer facility. So this structure will work great for that. But again, the Pike Stuff are great for being able to mix and match. They actually, if you look inside, you see all the little lines that are on the insides of these walls. Those are lines that are guides to help you to be able to cut for a variety of different sizes and shapes of doors and windows so that you can literally make these structures your own however you want to build them. So if you're looking at doing maybe some of your first kit bashing, these Pike Stuff structures are a great place to start for that. Continuing again with the plastic models, I've got a few models like this one here from Summit Custom Cuts. These are also plastic models, but the difference is that instead of being injection molded, these are polystyrene sheets that have been cut on a CNC machine. And so they're a little more delicate. The walls and the parts are thinner. They give you a little nicer detail in that way. And they just go together a little bit differently. I wouldn't say they're harder to build. They just go together differently. And these come with some nice details. This is a Taco Bell restaurant, as you can see there. And of course, it comes with some signs and decals. But I love this roofing material that's made to do the edging, this kind of steep roof that goes around it. This is, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's got really deep detail in a variety of colors. A really nice looking part. So they give you some nice detail items from Summit Custom Cuts to be able to build some structures that look really good, especially if they're up front on your layout. Here is one of those kits that I am building. I've not finished it yet. This is actually a little Domino's pizza structure. And you can see the nice detail around the windows. It's not in it yet. I haven't finished it, but it has an interior where you can build the front credenza, and there are signs for the inside as well as signs for the window. And these are really nice structures. And again, not real hard to build, but really look really good. Now, one of the things that I struggle with is I am an in-scale modeler. I model modern day, but I model a couple of city scenes, and finding modern, like skyscraper or large city buildings in scale is really frustrating. Well, I just recently discovered a company and a source for some of those kinds of kits, and I'm going to share that with you now. And this is the first time I've shared this with anyone publicly. and I've got just a couple of them here. But these are from a company called Overland Models, and I found these on Amazon, and they're available in N and HO scale, maybe in some other scales as well. I'm not certain. But you can see this is a nice large skyscraper type of structure. This one a smaller, shorter structure, but a nice commercial looking building like you would see in a downtown of a city or maybe a smaller city downtown. Overland Models, I understand, is a company that makes models and for wargaming hobby, and I think that's where these structures originally came from. Now, the drawback to these is they don't include a lot of details. This has a nice facade to it, and it has some sides and floors and that sort of thing. It does not even come with window glazing and doesn't come with a lot of other detail parts. But the beauty of this structure is just the fact that it exists, and you've got the facade of a skyscraper, which again, if you're modeling a city in modern day, you need that. And it's so much easier to be able to start with this. And I can kit bash this. I can get window glazing material to put in it. I can detail it with details in the front and sidewalks. I can detail interiors in some of these windows after I put glazing in them. It's just tons of things that you can do. And these are fairly inexpensive models. The price range on these that I've bought are from about $24 for the most expensive ones down to $6 or $7 for some of the smaller kits, again on Amazon. So Overland Models, it's a Japanese company, so when you order them, it's going to take a little time for them to come. But I'm really excited about these because I can kit bash these, but it gives me a great place to start for some of those city types of structures. Now, everything we've talked about up to this point has been plastic models. And again, plastic models are typically where we kind of start in the hobby. And if you're modeling modern day, plastic structures are something you're going to use a lot of. But if you're modeling in earlier eras or even modern day, in some cases, you're going to model some structures that are wood. There are ways to model wood with styrene shaped sheets that we can get like from Evergreen that look like different kinds of siding and such. But really, one of the great skills that we can develop as we improve and grow in modeling is working with wood, and so working with wood kits. And I'm going to show you just a couple of wood kits. Sometimes these wood kits are referred to as craftsman kits because they require some craftsman kinds of skills to build. Now, the skill range on wood kits is widely varied depending on the kit. And the couple I'm going to show you today are fairly easy kits. We can also get kits from other manufacturers that are larger, that have a lot more parts and a lot more detail to them from the interior to the exterior. And those kits look absolutely fantastic when we build them. So I always try to encourage everybody to be constantly growing in your skills and growing in the hobby. So I would encourage you, if you've never done a wood kit, to try one. If you've done some simple wood kits, maybe try one that's a little more difficult just to continue to grow in the hobby. This is a particular kit. This is a farmhouse that I'm going to be using on my layout. This is from RS Laser Kits. And I'll just open it up and show you here kind of what it comes with. This is the instructions. It comes with very nice, very detailed instructions as far as how to build the kit. It has a package here of some detail parts, windows, doors, chimneys. These are plastic parts. The windows and doors, I believe, here are from Tichy Train Group, which are very popular and well known. But some nice detail parts there. Comes with a little bit of scale lumber that you're going to have to cut to length and use in a variety of ways. This is some very delicate window glazing, and it looks like self-adhesive on one side, so I think it's going to be self-sticking, but it's nice looking window glazing. One of my favorite things about wood kits is the shingles. This particular house, if you look again at the front, I think you can see there, it has like cedar shake types of shingles on it, and here they are. These are the cedar shake shingles that you can paint and weather and cut out and install literally row by row on the structure, and these come out looking fantastic. And then you have the kit parts itself. These look like the supports for the front porch. And then, of course, you have do this very carefully, the basic walls here. And these are laser cut out of some hobby grade plywood, very thin plywood in this case. There are different materials that are used. There's also a laser board. Here's a bit of that laser board, some parts that have been cut out of it, which honestly in some ways is not altogether different from tempered hardboard like masonite, only it's very thin and delicate. And they use this many times for various parts, especially structural parts that maybe don't show as much, but you'll find that a lot. And then you have the walls that are cut out, and also the texture for, in this case, shiplap type siding that is cut into the walls with the laser cutter. I think everything else here is just wall parts. Yeah, it is. And so these are, again, you're using a little different skill set. You're having to stain and paint wood, which paints differently from plastic, styrene. But the beauty of it is, with using real wood, it's really easy to do a more weathered look, to look like the wood is actually weathered and grayed, and then you put paint on that you chip off and shows the weathered gray wood underneath. It's easy to do structures that have some broken boards and things to them, and I'm going to show you something about that here in just a moment. So that's one example of a wood kit, and again, this is a fairly easy kit to build, but will come out looking fantastic for your layout. One other kit I'm going to show you. This is one that again, this is a barn that I bought to go with that farmhouse that I just showed you. This is from Showcase Miniatures. Another laser wood kit, but this one is a little bit different, so I want to show you some of it. Again, it comes with a set of complete instructions inside, and then this bag of the modeled parts. And what I want you to notice here, as I pull these out, if you look at the picture on the front, you can see that the outside of this barn has some broken boards, and through the broken boards you can actually see the studs inside of the wall. And here's how they allow you to create that. Here is some of that laser cut board that I was telling you about a while ago. That's kind of like masonite. And this is the interior of the wall, the studs, the structure of the wall. And then here is the part that is the exterior of the wall. And you see they've already got the boards that are broken, cut out. And of course you can work to weather and fray those more as you like. But again, you can look at this and see, I've got it upside, well, I guess it was depending on which wall you're looking at. These are fantastic looking models, and you stain these and give them that nice weathered look, and they're going to look fantastic. Just show you the other parts here. That's another wall. These are the roof sections here, I believe, as well as gates and a variety of parts. I've got one of these craftsman kits here that I've built that I'll show you, and this one actually happens to be an HO scale structure that I've built for a little switching layout that I'm building. And this particular kit is Randy's Auto Repair from Mind Mount Models. And again, this is not a real difficult kit to build here. A little more complex as it's got some different shapes to the walls. This one has a composition type of shingle on it, but again, they're those same types of shingles that I showed you a moment ago that come on sheets and rows. You paint and weather them and then apply them row by row. And I mean, that just, it makes absolutely fantastic detail on a structure. And again, you can see that I painted but also weathered this structure just a little bit, and came out looking really, really good. I'm really happy with it. So those are some of the types of kits that you can use to populate structures on your layout. And if you've not really built structures, if you're brand new into the hobby, I really would suggest some of these plastic types of kits. They're a great place to start in kit building. And some of the less expensive ones are a great place to start where if you don't have a lot of skills that you have used before, they're a great place to learn. And if you do make some mistakes, you don't have a lot invested, you can always just try again. If you've been involved in kit building for a while, Maybe it's time to move on to something a little more advanced, or to try some kit bashing. Use some raw materials to make those structures your own and make them what you really want them to be. And as you do, you're going to find that you have a much greater level of satisfaction with your layout, I believe, as you make it unique so that all of your structures aren't like everyone else's structures, and you can actually begin to kind of create that real sense of time and place that you desire to create for your model railroad layout. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you will take some time today to do a little model railroading. Allow that to be the therapy that maybe you need in life and to bring some enjoyment. And I hope you all have a great day.